What's going on, guys? This is the Movie Maniac. Thank you to new and returning subscribers. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to look at my horror Blu-ray collection. I figured with everyone under a stay-in, quarantine, this coronavirus lockdown, why not do something that I've been thinking about getting around to for a while. It's different from a conventional review. I've got them all off the shelves here, and they're right over here. They're just slightly out of frame. And I'm going to show them to you. I'm going to talk about each one maybe for like 5 seconds. Otherwise, this would become a 40-minute video. That's not what I'm looking to do here. So I'm going to go through these, and I actually don't own as many as you might expect. And I think the reason for that is the vast majority of horror films I own are spread out among VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and there's even some digital ones that I have as well. And I think that that's what's happened. But there are many that I do want to pick up on Blu-ray. There's some actually that I have on DVD that I want to see and own in high def. So we're going to get there one day. And then there's certain movies that just never really saw a proper release. And then now some of these distributors are picking them up. Some ones that I'm sure you can already think of that go through and try and find cool niche stuff. And that's finally coming around. I just kind of wait for it to come down in price because sometimes they try and charge $40 for it. So I think as I go through these, I'm going to try and put them back on the shelf. I can't promise this will all be in one take, but that's kind of my goal here. And there was a big debate about what's horror, what's sci-fi. So let's get started. And first up is the Alien Anthology on Blu-ray. If you're a fan of the Alien films, you need to pick this up. This is a love letter to those of us out there who love this series. And this is my favorite cinematic universe. This and Star Wars both are. And they absolutely nailed it here. If you open this up, there's beautiful artwork for each movie. And it's just a must-have. So this one goes up here, as you're going to see. Yep, there we go. All right. And then we have 47 Meters Down. This is one of the best recent shark movies, if you haven't seen it yet. Blood Diner. So I haven't actually gotten around to watching this yet, but I remember seeing the cover art for this at College Park Video as a kid all the time, and I always thought, I gotta watch this. I just love that cover art, and it always intrigued me. I picked it up at a Spooky Empire convention, and I'm gonna get around to this soon. I think pretty soon. All right. Congo. This is just fun mid-90s cheese, and I hate this cover art though. Go Google the theatrical poster for this. It's so much better. It's so cool. Actually, I kind of want to get either a poster or one sheet and put it up on one of my walls over here somewhere. But this cover art sucks. The Blu-ray actually looks pretty good though. And I hope you guys got those watches from Taco Bell, if you remember that. Stephen King's Cat's Eye. I really enjoyed this as a kid. I haven't seen it in a long time. Picked it up on Blu-ray, and I'm definitely stoked to give this a revisit. Child's Play, the remake. I did a review for this, if you want to go find it. It's on my channel, and I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was very good, but it was, you know, the original one's great. This one is okay. But if you're going to do a film like this one and remake it, and you're not going to make him possessed and say he's going to be AI, it's not bad. And the humor in it was pretty effective. Chopping Mall. This is just an awesome B-movie from the 80s. Crawl, in my top 10 from 2019. If you're a fan of creature features, you gotta check this out. Death Score. This is independent horror. It was actually shot here in Florida. The independent horror scene is extremely intriguing to me, and I want to dive even deeper into it than I have already. Devil's Rejects. This one hasn't been opened yet. I need to give that another chance here sometime soon. All right. Event Horizon. This was my Hellraiser. Like, I saw this, I think, when I was 11 years old. I didn't see Hellraiser until college. So this actually creeped the hell out of me. And movies generally don't scare me that much. I mean, I love horror, but it's not always because it scares me. But this was kind of terrifying at that age. If you haven't seen Event Horizon, it's a must. Friday the 13th, the 2009 remake. I enjoyed it when it came out. It's been a while since I've seen it, and I want to go back to it. Fright Night. The original is awesome. I love the remake. Colin Farrell is such a badass in this movie. The forgotten Robert Rodriguez film, The Faculty, from the late 90s. This one, definitely enjoyable. It's kind of a throwback to, I think, those like 1950s style horror flicks, just with a more 90s take on it. All right, this Blu-ray, it's a little busted up here. This is imported from Canada before we got the official From Dusk Till Dawn release. I used to be obsessed with this movie in middle school. I mean, anybody who knew me back then knows what I'm talking about. I mean, I was in love with From Dusk Till Dawn. We're talking a straight up, like, passionate crush on this movie. And it's still awesome. Godzilla 98. It's a blast. I know it's not very good, but it's a lot of fun, and it mainly takes place in the rain, so it qualifies as a good rainy day watch, right? Yeah. Haven't opened this one up yet, but I've definitely seen them all a bunch of times. Gremlins and Gremlins 2. Happy Birthday to Me. I've never seen this. I feel like it's something I would like. It was at Walmart when they were doing these VHS slips here. I thought it was really neat and something that I wanted to look into a little further. Halloween, one of the best slashers of all time. My top 3 slashers. Halloween 2. Just recently gave that a revisit. There's some fascinating discussions about that movie. We can't get into it now because I'll be here talking about it the whole time, but there's some interesting stuff behind Halloween 2. H2O. I watched this with my dad back when it came out, and we saw it on, I think it was a VHS or DVD, and it was awesome. I gave it a revisit when I bought this Blu-ray 4 years ago, 5 years ago. It doesn't hold up, and I actually watched it again with my girlfriend last Halloween, so just a few months back. And I love Myers, okay? But this movie, it could be so much better. Don't downvote me for that, though, because I'm going to tell you that this is amazing. This is how you do a Halloween sequel. This is the best possible job they could have done with bringing Jamie Lee Curtis back, having it be the real sequel to the first movie. This is so good. Again, we can't. I'm going to start talking about it. Can't do it. Because I'm going to get too into it. The Hills Have Eyes remake. I haven't watched it in a while, but wow, is this an intense film. Same guy went to direct Crawl. So if you like this, go see Crawl. Hostel 1 and 2. Yeah, I actually haven't seen Hostel Part 2, and there's many people that say it's better, so I guess I need to do that. All right. That's going to be too awkward, so I'm just going to set them down in a new pile over here. House of a Thousand Corpses. I used to consider this one of my favorite movies. Favorite horror movies from the 2000s. It. Still wrapped up. Obviously, I've seen it, but yeah, that was quite exceptional. Better than the TV version they did in the 90s. Jurassic World. I was obsessed with Jurassic Park growing up. It's actually the movie that got me into filmmaking. And yeah, this reboot / sequel was a blast. I really enjoy it. Now for one of my favorite vampire movies of all time, The Lost Boys. What can you say that hasn't been said about The Lost Boys? All right. On to the second half of the stack. Got to get some water in. I'm telling you, it gets hot under these lights. It really does. All right. You've probably heard me talk about this if you've watched this channel. Leviathan. Is this Blu-ray even available anymore? I don't know. I got it at a normal price, but now it might be completely jacked up. Another underwater flick. The Meg. Again, not a great movie, but I think it's highly enjoyable, and I love Ruby Rose's hair in this movie. Night of the Comet. It's just such a blast. I mean, this is 80s gold right here. And that cover art, this new cover art that they did with Shout Factory release, it's perfect. Night Train to Terror. This is another one. It's still wrapped. And again, like Blood Diner, I've never seen it, but I'd seen this cover art as a kid growing up in the horror section. And it's one of those ones that just sticks with you. It was intriguing to me, and I definitely want to give this a viewing sometime soon. Predators. I like this movie. I like it a lot. To me, I call this Predator 3 because I feel like that's what it is. It's exactly what it is. And I thought it was awesome. I mean, there's plenty of things to go into as to why I felt that, but here's the more controversial one. The Predator. Look, it's a Shane Black movie with a Predator dropped in it. It's goofy. It is a Halloween movie. It takes place on Halloween. And it's part, Predator 4, if you want to call it that. I enjoy it. With all its faults, I enjoy it, and I actually liked it even more on my second viewing, because I think I knew what I was getting into at that point. Seriously, give it a revisit. Psycho. This is also my top 3 slashers of all time, and some people go, you're calling Psycho a slasher? It's so much more than that. I know. That's one of the reasons it makes the list. And while a lot of people give Halloween credit for creating the slasher genre, you might want to give Mr. Hitchcock some credit as well, because he definitely kicked things off. All right, Predator. Great 80s cinema right there. Oh, and this is the Ultimate Hunter edition, so a lot of the grain has been completely cleaned up, if that bothers you. This one's been unopened. The Purge Anarchy. I might give this a revisit tonight with the damn stay-in. Yeah, it just feels fitting. By the way, there's only one Purge movie you need to own, and that's The Purge Anarchy. You don't need to continue beyond this movie. I'm serious. This is The Purge at its height. It's probably never going to get better than this, and it can only get worse. Trust me, if you have been on the fence about the Purge movies, you don't need to see the first one to understand. Just go see Purge Anarchy. You might become a Purge fan as a result. Psychos in Love. This movie is insane, and it's just fun. It's a faux documentary style flick. Look at that cover art. Tell me you're not interested. Psychos in Love. Go check that out. Resident Evil. This is going to sound crazy, but this might be the best theatrical experience for a movie I've ever had. There's a whole story around it, and I think I might do a video just dedicated to Resident Evil. I mean, my God, the nostalgia just pours in with this from the early 2000s. If you have any kind of early 2000s nostalgia, you'll understand what I mean. I love this movie. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10, but my entertainment scale, it's like a 9. And that Marilyn Manson score paired with Marco Beltrami and just one of Paul W.S. Anderson's best out of his catalog. So, The Relic. Here's another mid-90s fun ball of cheese. It's a dark movie, and I'm talking about the lighting. The CG on The Relic is horribly dated. At the same time, this is still worth watching if you haven't seen it. At least as kind of... They try to give it an X-Files feel, because X-Files was huge at that time. And it's based off of a book. So, yeah, The Relic is kind of an interesting little creature feature, and not what you would expect. Scream 4. Loved Scream 4. I wish Craven had gotten a chance to do a Scream 5 before he passed away. Rest in peace, Wes Craven. And it's got Emma Roberts. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 remake. Man, this just gets better with every viewing. I remember back when I saw it, I was like, it was okay. Well, if it's still okay, then it's awesomely average, if there is such a thing. Because this movie is super intense. It still is to this day. It's insane. This is how you do a horror remake. This one's still in the packaging, but it won't be for long. They Live. And look at this. Look at this. Look, Shout Factory did again with that custom artwork. Sometimes I don't like new artwork. I just want the original VHS art just put on the Blu-ray. But man, Shout Factory, they just get it right every single time. For the most part. Won't mention any names, but for the most part. This is actually not the last one. I forgot there's one hiding up out here. But you're next. This is a modern slasher. The slashers are wearing masks. It's authentic. It's made on a very low budget. It's pretty damn violent. I showed this to my girlfriend last year, and I think she liked it, but she just felt like, geez, it's got kind of morbid at times for a slasher. Okay, so I should have pulled this one down here. And this is the X-Files Blu-ray set for both the movies. So we'll just kind of focus more on Fight the Future, which is like a horror popcorn flick. And it's good. I still like it. It's still something I can watch to this day. And the X-Files, I mean, you can't talk about the 90s without talking about the X-Files, because they just kind of, they took over television for a while. They took over like anything paranormal related. People would mention the X-Files in the same sentence. I mean, that's how influential this was. And again, we talked about the Relic earlier, and the Relic kind of had a little bit of this X-Files feel jammed into it, which it would have never had, in my opinion. I haven't read the book. So, again, hold the downvotes. Maniac is telling you the truth here. So, I hope you enjoyed going through those. That was kind of interesting for me, as hopefully, just something for you guys to watch during all this crazy, this pandemic. Hope you're all safe out there. Make sure to wash your hands. Count to 20, or you can sing, whatever song lasts 20 seconds. As the timer's going. No, that defeat the purpose. You have to know how long it lasts, right? But no, really, stay safe. Use hand sanitizer. Keep it in your vehicle. Use it before you go in somewhere, and then when you get back, you use it again. If you feel like it's excessive, well, this is the coronavirus pandemic. We're asking you to do so little to just help things out a bit. Anyway, this was fun. I enjoyed doing this. Maybe I'll get to the VHS or the DVD collection, but I don't know. For now, I just want to keep it with horror on Blu-ray. All right, thank you all for watching. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to keep on top of more of my stuff, smash that notification bell. Like, comment, and subscribe so you can stay inside the mind of a movie maniac.